A beautiful day to you, and thank you for joining me today on the Women Series program, where we capture developments and stories that impact women. Speaking of women, each passing week, a woman out there is achieving and attaining an incredible feat, which of course is beautiful, and we love to see it. Just recently, after we celebrated Tobi Amuson's win at the Commonwealth Game, we saw that Adijat Olariyoye and Rafiat Afolasade also won gold medals in the women's 55 kg and 59 kg weightlifting. Congratulations to them. And congratulations especially to every woman out there doing herself proud, most importantly, as well as doing us proud. Yes, so back to today's discussion. Today we want to talk about technology. And when you hear technology, there are different aspects of technology. Today we're focusing on the financial technology. When we hear things like DeFi, blockchains, cryptos, our minds start to wander and then we get super overwhelmed. But not to worry. Today is another day to learn, and I'm hoping that this conversation will be able to understand and not get overwhelmed by these concepts. Joining me virtually to have this conversation today, we're talking about DeFi, use cases, and the benefits to the economy. I'm speaking with Sarah Idahosa. Sarah is a founder of Women in DeFi, interestingly, and the head of Nigerian Token Team Mara. Hello, Sarah. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you.
Good to have you today.
Thank you very much.
And how is the tech space? We've seen so many growths in recent times. How is it doing?
Well, everything is going well. It's just there are ups and downs, but we move regardless.
I know, right? We move. That's what we say now. We move. Yes, we move. And onto today's conversation. Let's talk about DeFi. Oftentimes when we hear about DeFi, I'm trying to understand it because sometimes I also get lost in this conversation. In this space. Is DeFi synonymous to blockchain? Let's even start from the cradle. What exactly is DeFi? What is blockchain?
Okay, now decentralized finance is a certain type of finance that gives us the freedom to carry out different banking policies or financial and also financial activities within the blockchain. Now, the blockchain is more of like a decentralized ledger network where people store transactions, record transactions, people carry out financial activities, and people just use it to store, like I said, transactions. They use it basically for record keeping. Now, decentralized finance is a part of blockchain, but people anytime you think of blockchain, most things that occur in the blockchain is actually decentralized finance because like I said, it removes the central body from you, and that is what the blockchain is all about, decentralization, whereby people can easily record transactions without involving a third party. Like, let's say, for example, you mentioned I think you mentioned blockchain banking right now. And when you're thinking of blockchain, yes, blockchain, when you think of blockchain banking, it's literally you carrying out your regular banking activities. But this time, there is no bank like Zenith Bank or GT Bank or any of the banks that we have out there that you say this is the central body who's actually in charge of keeping your money or whatever it is that you want to store into the blockchain. The blockchain uses what we call smart contracts, which are actually codes, self-executing codes, which have been deployed into the computer system to self-interact. Like, all you have to do is, let's say you want to click on buy, like, you just go on the platform you want to use, the centralized platform you want to use, click on buy, and it automatically removes the particular amount of cryptocurrency that you want to remove from your wallet and move to the decentralized platform. You get? So these decentralized platforms, they are not like the central, but they are more of like facilitators to help you carry out these activities that you want to do.
You've talked about the fact that it removes the third party, which of course, that's like the traditional banking that we have. So it means that these people, when we start using the DeFi, it means that these people are out of job. Is that what it means?
I don't know what you mean by out of jobs. Like, do you mean that the banks will be out of jobs?
Exactly. So if you're saying this third party, we're removing them out of the old financial system, what happens to them? What happens to the traditional banking system?
Now, this is the thing. The traditional banking system can still stand because, like I said earlier, the blockchain is big and DeFi is just a part of it. Our banking system, they can decide to decentralize everything that we do in the sense of the kind of money, the monies that we store in our bank and other activities that we carry out in the bank. We can literally do the same thing on the blockchain. Do you get, like, where you're storing or saving money in the bank? This time, the banking system could decide that, oh, we want to make everything decentralized by, okay, putting people's funds in decentralized protocols, like verified decentralized protocols where they can earn yield. And in turn, like, this way, they're making more money for themselves, more money for the masses. And this time, everybody gets, like, for example, I am putting my money in the bank, and we all know that when we save money in the bank, they borrow this money, like they lend it out to big business people who want to create projects and all. But then again, we the users don't get anything in return of that. Instead, you probably end up with 2 naira or 3 naira debit alert for probably stamp duty or one thing or the other. Now, we can still do the same things like saving our money, but this time doing it in a decentralized protocol, whereby for every time that our money is being stored there, and every time that our money is being lent out to someone, like our money is being used for other transactions, we get to earn interest rates because it is your money. So it's the same thing. The people will not be out of jobs. Instead, they'll be announcing their business. Now, the blockchain technology or decentralized finance did not come and disrupt our regular traditional system prior to what everyone thinks. It just came to enhance it and make everything get better for us, like saving our funds, the lending and borrowing aspect of the entire banking system. It is literally the same thing in blockchain technology, in decentralized finance. Just that this time, instead of not being paid or getting something out of your money that is being given out to someone else, this time you are getting paid and you're getting rewarded for everything.
Right. I think we've been able to establish what the DeFi and the blockchain system means. Now, speaking of better, I mean, you talked about how the decentralized finance is helping to make the financial system better. Now, how about we talk about the financially underserved people? How can DeFi help to support the financially underserved people and bring them into the financial space, such that we don't talk about financially excluded people and then we now start talking about the financially included community?
Now, this is the thing. Like I said, the blockchain technology is big, and in as much as someone has access to a smartphone and a good internet, they can actually have access to decentralized protocols. And I think this is where our government still comes back to play, where we always tell our government to empower people with good education, and if possible, even provide cell phone. I think if the Nigerian government decides to release 200 smartphones, like let's say from the lowest quality, but as long as it's a smartphone, to 200 citizens, they can do it and nothing is going to happen to our reserve. Like, money is still not going to move from us. That is just an example. Now, bringing it back to the initial question, which is how DeFi can help. Now, this decentralized finance and the blockchain technology is a lot more than financial aspect, which everyone thinks it's all about. If you're a musical artist, you can actually make the most out of decentralized finance, because right now we have some protocols that people who are actually musical artists can come and sell their song, or even people who create art. I'm sure you've heard of what NFTs, non-fungible tokens, yes, which is all about digital art. It is a way to actually enrich people. Like, let's say I am an artist, for example, and I don't have the opportunity, like I do not have access to an art gallery where I can go and exhibit my artworks, but I do have a cell phone. All I need to know is get to know more about NFTs, read more about it, and learn more about it. And afterwards, I can decide to go and sell these my artworks, even my music, because music is also an NFT, just that people tend to think is only artwork. Music, videos, GIFs, they can all be sold in all these NFT marketplaces. All that is required of you is that skill that you have, like that artwork or music, come and mint it in a blockchain, like bring it into the blockchain, and someone out there who actually sees your work and of course can understand, like people who actually understand art, and the person sees meaning to what you're doing, person can buy it. I'm sure we've heard of the story of I've forgotten his name, the guy that took a picture of an old man, and someone bought it for Ethereum, and the guy made too much money out of it. It is that simple. Like, all you need to do is have the skill. Now, bringing it out of NFTs, there are people like who are good at writing, people are good at reading, people are good at designing, like, I mean, graphics designs, and all these people have opportunities in the decentralized space. All you have to do is come and sell yourself to different decentralized protocols. Tomorrow, rather, we almost every day we have new DeFi projects or new DeFi protocols coming up. And these people need marketers, people who help market their business, like whatever it is that they're doing. They need people who are good at designing graphics to create illustrations of whatever it is that they have in mind. And I'm sure with everything I've said now, you understand that there are so many things people can actually do in the decentralized finance, in the blockchain, using the blockchain technology, without having to say they want to even come and trade crypto. Because most people, once they hear of blockchain, they hear of DeFi, the first thing that always comes to mind is trading. And they don't understand that there is a lot more you can do on the blockchain, even without trading.
Right. I mean, you've mentioned so many use cases, which of course was supposed to be my next question. But let's talk about our economy, which is of great concern to everybody. Quite often than not, we hear about rising inflation and whatnot. I mean, how does DeFi help to hedge inflation?
Okay. Most times, what causes inflation is usually probably when there's an increase in wages that is being paid. For example, we have an oil worker, like someone who works for an oil company. Let's say the person was being paid $1 million. I don't know, I'm just assuming. It's being paid $1 million naira monthly. Then probably all of a sudden, they now increase the cost. They increase the salary, his wage to, let's say, 1.5. Now, for a normal person who actually interacts with such a person, like you sell products to him, you've heard that his salary has gone up. You get, most times it's normal in our Nigeria system, even not just Nigeria, we are all Africans, we all do it. Like, you don't want to increase the cost of your goods so that, the person is actually paying more, so the person can actually pay you more. And this now causes more money to be in circulation. And as we all know, inflation arises when the supply increases, but the demand is not as high as the supply. And that's when we now say inflation has come up, whereby the money that was 5,000 that you used to buy a single item yesterday, tomorrow, to buy that same item, you probably need 6,000 naira. That is inflation. Now, bringing it down to the blockchain technology, or bringing it down to decentralized finance, I'd like to use Bitcoin as an example. Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million. This means that no matter what happens tomorrow, if people let them increase salaries, let them increase the demand for Bitcoin, the price of the supply of Bitcoin cannot go more than the 21 million. Now, imagine if in the Nigeria economy now, we now decide to say, okay, some of these are, our Naira, our fiat currency, we want to peg it, or let's say maybe transfer it to a certain DeFi token or a different, and that is taking half of our money to a digital currency. That way, no matter what happens, even if the sky falls off, the money will the supply will not increase more than it has, because now we're not putting it into a digital, we're making the money digital. And I think I would like to use CBDC, for example. The CBDC will try to create e-Naira. Some people tell you there was actually an issue with e-Naira then, because they actually did it as one e-Naira is equivalent to a regular normal 1 Naira. But imagine if they had done this, they decide to say, okay, they don't want to peg it to the value of Naira, because of course, if Naira goes down, the e-Naira still goes down with it. But if they had let's say, made it a real decentralized, made it a real digital currency, and then they now put a fixed supply to it, and this time they now say the value of our Naira is tied to the value of the e-Naira which they created, and not the other way around, which was what they did. That's way, no matter what happens, even if the cost of living goes up tomorrow or goes down, the normal supply of the money will not increase more than it will not increase more than the stipulated number of supply. That way, we know that, okay, our Naira is still standing the way it is, and we can now use it to carry out digital transactions. We can now use it to carry out digital policy and everything we want to do. We can even use it to carry out decentralized banking, like staking, farming, to earn more yields. And this way, you see that the Naira does not move, it does not shake.
Wow. I mean, you've been able to dissect all of these things, and I love the way you've been able to do that. But let's move to one major challenge that most people complain or talk about when it comes to the blockchain system. That's the volatility of the market. How then do you think that I can convince an average Nigerian that the emerging technology is such as this, of course, is the future?
Okay, now this is the thing. Like I said earlier, I think when you asked about how we can help the underserved people, like how we can convince them about the blockchain. When I said the blockchain has a lot more to offer more than just crypto, more than just trading. Now, this is the thing. Like I said earlier, when people hear about blockchain technology, the first thing that comes to mind is crypto. It comes to trade. It comes to trading. Now, what is volatile in the market is cryptocurrencies because they are always being traded, they're always being used, not the blockchain technology itself. The blockchain technology, now I see a medical doctor and I tell him that, sir, instead of you to store your files in a normal ledger or normal book, whereby tomorrow, or let's say 10 years time, someone wants to come and look for his medical records, but you're unable to find it because it's probably the hospital renovated, they renovated the hospital, or let's say they decided to burn some files because the cards were now being too much or something. Why don't you employ the use of the blockchain whereby you can store the same records of the people, and anytime someone comes, even if it's in 20 years time, all you have to do is go to that particular blockchain platform where you have stored the file, search for the person's name, and the person's entire details comes out. Do you get? So the blockchain technology can actually be applied to different aspects of our life, removing crypto from mind. Like, you don't really have to trade. The thing that we want our government, what we actually want everyone to know and learn about, is the fact that the blockchain can be used for various things. Remove cryptocurrency from the mind. You don't want to interact with cryptocurrency. It is very fine. You don't really have to trade. Not all everyone are born to be traders. I have a friend who literally doesn't trade. Like, from the instant she got to learn about the blockchain technology, she had to forgo the trading part because of the volatility aspect. Because there is literally nothing we can do about it to help stop that. Because the moment you are saying, oh, okay, let's get 10 people who are holding Bitcoin to hold, not to trade, trust me, there will always be one stubborn person from somewhere who would want to sell his Bitcoin. And before you know, it starts causing price fluctuation. And that is why I said not everyone is actually meant to be traders. We just need to educate these people and make them understand that the blockchain technology, decentralized finance, is a lot more than crypto. It's a lot more than trading. That's all you have to do. Oh, you're an engineer. Why not study the blockchain and see how the blockchain technology can help facilitate most of your activities that you do in engineering, like storing of records and the rest. I hope you get. So I think the issue of the market volatility is it only comes to play when we're thinking of trading. And right now, a lot of people are actually seeing that they can do a lot on the blockchain even without trading.
That's quite
Sorry.
interesting. That's quite interesting. Today, I've been able to understand that the blockchain, you can use the blockchain to do anything whatsoever. And I mean, it basically just speaks to the fact that it is an enabler as opposed to we thinking that the only thing that happens there is trading. Thank you very much,
Trading.
Sarah, for trying to break this down and passing this information as clear and as crystal as possible. Thank you very much.
You're much welcome. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. So I'm going to end with this quote I heard from a tech bro. Yes, a tech person. It says that every person, every family, and every business will experience more liberty, more freedom, more opportunities, even more abundance, more power, more wealth when they key into DeFi, as DeFi is a win for humanity. Thank you for sticking with me today. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms showing on the screen. Visit our website, www.proshare.co, to watch more of our videos and get updates on our financial markets. Now, until next week, remember that technology is an enabler. It is not a trend, but it has come to stay and it is the future. Thank you for watching.